Hey you guys, so today I wanted to do a video answering your guys' questions about my lip injections. I just got lip injections done for the first time on Monday. Holy shit, it was nerve-wracking. So I'm going to kind of tell you guys my experience and like my story with it, and then I'm going to answer some questions you guys had. First thing that I want to say quickly before we jump in is that if you guys are considering any type of augmentation to your body, do your research. Don't just go off one person's video and be like, all right, I'm doing it kind of thing. Like, look into doctors in your area, really take it seriously, and don't jump into anything. Like, look into the side effects, all that kind of stuff. I'm not a doctor. My experience may be very different from yours. So yeah. And the other thing is that none of you should ever feel like you need to get something done, and none of you should ever feel bad about wanting to get something done. This doesn't necessarily have anything to do with being self-conscious or not, and even if it did, it wouldn't matter. You guys are all beautiful as you are, and you are beautiful in any way that you want to be. So if that means no lip injections, if that means lip injections, if that means full overhaul freaking surgery, it doesn't matter. None of these kind of things change who you are as a person, and it's purely just for fun. And with that said, if you have some kind of weird reservations and anger towards me for doing this, don't bother. Alright, let's jump into it. This is my experience with it. So I booked my appointment last Thursday, and then I went in on Monday. I went in kind of as a consultation, and then I was like, well, I guess, like, you know, if it works out kind of thing, like, and I'm feeling good about it, then I'll just like get it done that day, because I knew that if I didn't get it done like right after the consultation, I'd go home and I'd think about it and I'd worry and like be stressed, and then I'd be like, oh, I don't know, and I'd kind of like pussy out basically. So leading up to Monday, I was literally like so nervous. I couldn't sleep at all, like Saturday or Sunday night. I was just like so nervous because I've never done anything like this before, and I don't take stuff like this lightly, and I don't like needles, and I was just like, holy fuck, this is horrifying. So Monday rolls around, and I just literally feel like I can't get my mind off it. So we left so early for my appointment, and we were like walking around the mall, and then we were there, and I was still ended up there like half an hour early. And so I'm sitting in the waiting room, and I'm literally like so stressed. I don't know about you, but when I get so stressed and so nervous, I need to poop. Like, but it's not even like, oh, I kind of need to like go to the washroom. It's like, I have stress poops. And that was exactly what was happening. I was so fucking nervous. And so I literally was like freaking out. My stomach was hurting so bad. I needed to poop so bad. I go in to see the doctor or whatever, and he was like 15 minutes late, and I was like, holy fuck, like I'm like freaking out. He was 15 minutes to another client, I should say. And so it was just like, my time was just like ticking and ticking. I was like, oh my god, this is the worst. So I go in there, and I told Luke, I was like, you're coming in with me because I'm fucking nervous as shit. Like, you're gonna have to like hold my hand. And he was like, am I even allowed in there? And I was like, you gon' be allowed in there. So basically I go in and I sit down, and this guy basically just fucking starts strapping on his gloves. Like, not really, but we did a consultation. I told him that I was kind of looking at lip injections as well as Botox, like between my brows and in my forehead, because I don't like that I'm starting to get wrinkles at 22 between my brows and on my forehead. So anyways, I talked to him about all that kind of stuff. He went over it with me, and he kind of like, you know, gave me some expectations, like what I might kind of be looking at, how long it would take to like see results, all that kind of stuff. And then we talked about what specifically I wanted my lips to look like, and he was really good. Like, he was very, like, he was like, I'm not going to do your lips this way because it makes them look really unnatural and like sausagey, and he's like, you know, this is how I'm going to do it instead, and this is that, like, and he kind of recommended like how much I should be doing. He was like, honestly, like, I don't think that you should be doing a ton, like, you have pretty full lips as is, so, you know, you don't want to go overboard, and because it's your first time, like, you know, just take it slow basically, which was awesome, because he wasn't trying to like upsell me or trying to like, you know, be like, let's get fucking 2 syringes into each lip. He was just like, let's just take it easy, man. And I was like, all right, tight, my kind of people. So basically, after I kind of told him what I was looking for, we fucking jumped right in, and he just started like whipping out needles. He was like, let's do this, baby. And I was like, whoa, damn. I was sweating like a fucking monster. Like, literally, my butthole has never both been so sweaty and so clenched at the same time or at separate times. Like it was just, I was so fucking nervous. So he puts this numbing gel all over my lips, all over like and surrounding area, and then my forehead and between my brows. Because I decided to go like big or go home. I was basically like, all right, whole new face, let's go. So he puts the numbing cream on and it starts to like work pretty quickly, and I'm like, all right, I feel pretty good about this, because I told him, like, I was tripping balls. I was like, listen, I was watching Nikki Tutorials video and she was like, well, you know, I have a really high pain tolerance and like lip injections for me was about a 6, and I was like, holy fuck, that's gonna be like an 85 for me then. So I have a very low pain tolerance. I'm a scaredy cat. Like, I don't like needles. I'm very afraid of stuff like this. So I was so nervous the whole time I was telling him. I was like, this better not hurt, I swear to God. Like, I was so nervous. And he's like, no, you're not gonna feel it, you're not gonna feel it. And I was like, listen, pal, okay? I'm not like your other low maintenance customers that are just like, oh yeah, I don't feel any pain. I'm like, goddamn, I can feel the needle already, and it's like 2 feet from my face, okay? Like, I was super nervous. Like, I was just freaking out. So he was like, don't worry, put some numbing cream on. And then he puts this like cold block on my forehead, and then he moves it away, and I don't really feel anything, and then he's like, all right, that was your first Botox shot. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even feel that, dude. Like, I felt like a little, like, I kind of felt like a little bit of a tug of like something coming out of my skin, but I didn't clue in that that was like him pulling the needle back out. Like, I was shocked, because I literally was like, this is going to be horrific. Anyways, I was still super nervous the entire time. He did my forehead and my brows first. Was not painful in the least. Like, literally on a scale of 0 to 10, it was 0. But then we moved on to the lips, and like, I'm freaking out, and he's like, oh, are you nervous? Are you like excited? Are you ready? Kind of thing. And I was like, I, meanwhile, had been licking my lips because I was just nervous, and so I licked the numbing cream, and so my whole tongue and my throat was like numb, and I was like salivating like a motherfucker because I was just super nervous and everything was numb and I couldn't really feel it. I had a tissue in my hands and then I tried to like spit into the tissue, like all this excess saliva that I had in my mouth, because I was literally like flooding my body. So I tried to like spit it into this tissue while he wasn't looking, but like I couldn't feel anything because my face was so numb. So like I was spitting into this tissue and I like pull it away, and there was like this big like string of saliva attached to it, and I was like, oh shit, and it was like spit all over my fingers. So like I'm trying to like kind of ball up this Kleenex and like hide it kind of thing, and he's like, oh, are you ready? And I'm like, because like my mouth, there's like drool all over my chin and like coming out of like my mouth, and just like it's all over my hand and all over this like really like drippy gross Kleenex that's in my hand now, and I was just like, yeah, I'm ready. It was so bad. I'm sweating, like it was just horrendous. So anyways, with the lips, he does the same thing. He puts down like a cold block on it and then moves it, does the injection kind of thing. Oh gosh. So after he had done a couple injections, I was like, okay, I could feel it on the lips. It didn't hurt, but I knew that it was happening, so I was super nervous. So towards the bottom of my lip, like the underside kind of thing, there wasn't as much numbing cream put there, and so I could feel the needles there. It was painful, but not like, holy fuck, that's painful, I can't handle it, but it was just like, oh, okay, there's a needle in my lip right now. Scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably say like 1.5. It would be like a half point if I wasn't so fucking nervous. So anyways, then he finished with that, and then he just kind of gave me a mirror, told me to check it out, see if there was anything that I kind of wanted to change or didn't like or whatever, and I just told him the spots where like I wanted it a little bit fuller or whatever, or evened out or whatever, and then so he changed the things that he wanted to change and even out, and then I told him to change the things that I wanted to change. We evened it out, took one last look, and he was like, perfect, okay. We took our before and after photo. Well, we took the before photo before. And then he was just like, all right, peace out. And that was that. It was a very like quick procedure all in all. I think I was in there 40 minutes, and that's for the entire consultation, Botox between my brows and my whole forehead, and then my lips. So yeah, that's my story. Basically just a lot of butt related stress. So yeah. So Patrick Starr asked, did it hurt and will you do it again? As I said, I did not feel it for the most part. I was shocked by this. We put a lot of numbing cream on, and then like I said, he put the cold block, and then he would do the injection right where he had put the cold block immediately afterward. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys, he like massages the shit out of your lips. It's really weird feeling. Anyway, so it didn't really hurt during the procedure. Like, it was kind of like a 1 out of 10 when I could feel it. Afterwards, I was still pretty nervous and like scared to do anything. They were a little bit tender. Like, when you put on lip chap and you kind of like rub your lips together like that made them a little bit tender, but it definitely wasn't painful. It didn't hurt. I would do it again, but that said, I definitely wouldn't be any less nervous next time. Like, I don't think that just because I've done it now, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck it. Lip injection all the time. Like, I'm still gonna take it just as seriously the next time that I go in because it still scares the shit out of me. You don't get over butthole sweat like that, I swear to God. Rebecca Shores asked, how much do you get to choose how they look? Do they need to be maintained over the years? So I got to choose basically completely how they looked. I told him that like I didn't want a lot on the sides. I just basically wanted it in the center of my lips kind of thing. The one thing is that I said what I wanted, and then he would say like, okay, this part may not work because of this. Like, I said that I wanted it down the center of my lips basically, and he was like, okay, but I'm not going to put in an injection on like the center of the bottom lip. I'll only do it on the bottom because if you put it in the center, it kind of like makes it have a less natural shape. So yeah, for the most part, I basically just was like, this is what I want. He kind of said yes or no, or like, can we do it this way instead, based on like his professional opinion. So yeah, I pretty much entirely got to choose how they looked. And then she said, does it need to be maintained over the years? I obviously can't speak to how long this set will last. As far as I know, it's typically about 3 to 4 months, and then the more that you get, the longer they kind of last. But yeah, as Nikki Tutorial said in her video, they won't ever last more than a year. So if you want to keep getting them done, you have to obviously keep getting them done, unless they are like a permanent like implant kind of thing. Mariah Leonard says, real talk, does it make your lips hard, solid feeling? That's what I'm worried about. It doesn't at all. The weirdest feeling was right after you get it done, and for like maybe, actually even still a little right now. So I've had it for 2 days, and it almost feels like if I lick my lips from the inside, it almost feels like there's like a ball inside of my lip on either side. So it feels like a ball over here and a ball over here kind of thing. I got 2 balls in my mouth basically. So it feels like these tiny little balls are like inside my lip, and that's really all that I can feel that's different. Touching them from the outside kind of thing, they don't feel hard or like it's not like they're numb or like I can't feel them. It just, yeah, it doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't feel any different except for when I lick it from the inside, which I typically don't do. How much did you get injected, if the money was worth it, and if you could live without them? I could definitely live without them. I didn't get them too over the top or massive. I really just wanted to try it out pretty natural to begin with. Was it worth it? I feel like it, because it's not so over the top that it's like comical, but like I notice it, which I like. So I feel like it was worth it because of that. And what was the other question? Hold on, let me check that again. Oh, how much I got injected. So I got a half of a syringe in the top lip and then a quarter of a syringe in the bottom lip. Let us know if there's any kind of swelling. I definitely had swelling the first day, just kind of slightly. I was expecting to be bruised like a motherfucker, but so far I have not experienced any bruising at all on the outside. On the inside of my lip, there's one little spot that's like a little bit red and kind of like tender looking, but I haven't experienced any other kind of like bruising or pain or like weird side effects. Honestly, you guys, I can't even begin to describe to you how shocked I am that this was as like painless as it was. Yeah, it's just weird. What kind of research did you do beforehand? So I watched a lot of videos talking about people's experience with lip injections, just in terms of like the pain levels and stuff like that, and what I could be expecting in terms of like healing afterwards. I looked into various doctors in Vancouver who had good reviews, who had like been doing it the longest kind of thing, before and after photos, so I could kind of go to somebody that I felt like did it a little bit more, I guess, subdued, as opposed to like someone that was like, what's up, baby? So yeah, I just kind of looked into different doctors. I looked into other people's experiences and stuff like that. I looked into side effects like a motherfucker. So yeah, I basically just kind of Googled what anybody else would Google in terms of this, and that was that. Where did you go and how much did it cost? I went to a place called Cure Laser in downtown Vancouver on Main Street. It cost $200 for the top lip and $150 for the bottom lip, so it was $350 for my lips all together. If for some reason you want to know how much the Botox was, it's a really good question. I want to say that it was $200. I can't really recall. I believe that it was $200 for the Botox, and I got it, I got 2 shots over here, 1 shot, 2 shots, and then 5, I think? It's all a blur. What lip product did you slather on the fastest? Honestly, today is the first day where I was really like not afraid to wear products on it. As I said, like I was very nervous about this whole process, and I was really like unsure, and I didn't want to, I was like afraid to eat salt and vinegar chips, which is my favorite chip of all time. I eat them like pretty much every day. That's so bad for you. Don't ever do that. But like I literally like, I eat these all day, all night, and I literally just like, I took a chip and I was like, because like I was so afraid to like touch my lips with it, because I was like, oh god, what if the vinegar gets into like one of the injection sites and like it starts burning? Like I did not know what to expect, but honestly it was completely fine. The first product that I put on was lip balm. So that is everything, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something cool today. If I for some reason missed your question, or you happen to have a new question, let me know in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Okay guys, peace out.